Okay, this is a refurbish of a Vane cartridge off of a V45 double pump, and this is the second one that came in. And I'm refurbishing it. This particular cartridge is over $2,000 to replace it, and so this is a spare one. What happened is you can see I've lapped the plates on the lapping table here and got it all clean. This was a brand new pump. Now, I don't know what's going on. I think that the customer was running at high pressure, had the thing set for like 3,200 PSI. And then they started saying that this thing was making noise and stuff. But so I got it apart, and there's a little bit of chafing on this. It looked like it got overheated. I lapped this a little bit, the rotor. There was some heat marks on here. And then there was some chatter, like little pock marks on this, almost like a cavitation. And it started pock marking the vanes. Let's see if I can see one here. Let's see here where I can see the chatter marks. Okay, here's kind of one. You can't really see it, but right up here, you can see it's discolored. And it just did it at the top, so what it was doing, it won't move freely in this rotor. Okay, so we're going to try putting these in, and so that these things work, this thing will spread out and grab the cam. You see these, there's a bevel on this. You always got to look at that. I've seen these where these are rounded off and everything. This bevel goes towards a rotation like this, and it scrapes along this cam here. Okay, and that's what keeps the pressure, and that's why you got to check these cams. The cam's clean. Okay, if you have chatter in the cam, you can't have that scraping over. That's why you always got to look. This cam's clean. Okay, so we're going to try slipping these in here. This is a little lubricant here. What it was is these won't sling out if they're tight. Okay, you see that? It goes like that. And if they won't move in there, they're supposed to sling out on the cam. Okay, So what I did is I put these on the lapping table and cleaned up, tried to work on those little chatter marks on there. I think it's either cavitation or it got a little bit hot. But the thing is, this is a $6,000 pump. Now I did the other one, it was the same thing. So it's not, there's two of these off the same unit. This is a spare now. Now they want me to take a look at this. But you can see, you got to get these in there the right way. I'll show you. And they have, they sling out, and that's where it pushes the oil in there. And it's a real tight fit, and these are hardened vanes. Precision fit. You got to have that. You want all the vanes facing. This is a right-hand rotation. Okay, so let's put these back in there. So I did the other one like this, and they're running it now. It's been on there for a month. I just refurbished and it was both of them. This is a double pump. Both of them were done on the main cartridge, a large one. So I think what happened, the pressure was set too high, and it was working super hard, and it just put a load on it, and either cavitated a little bit or it got a little too hot. So we're going to, lapping this. This is fairly new too, but the vanes wouldn't sling out anymore. So it was making some noises, but after I did the other one, they've already put it on. Like I said, it's been on there for a month, and they run it every day, and it's still going. This one seemed like it was a little bit worse as far as the chatter marks go. But you can kind of see here. But that's one thing, you got to make sure you get the right rotation. You can really screw these up. But this is basically a reconditioning. If I were to buy a new one, it's over $2,000 just for this cartridge here. The pump's about $6,000. And the way they run these things, this is a good spare. And I'm confident that we could put this on the bench and run it, and it'll be just fine. So I've lapped the plates and I've lapped these vanes a little bit, and now it's just like I did the other one. It seems like it's going to work pretty good now. Certainly as a spare, you know, you start buying these pumps $6 grand a pop. There's 2 of them. That's 12 grand. When I can refurbish this for, you know, the whole thing, reseal the pump and everything for a reasonable price, and get them back in business. Okay, so we got, make sure you don't lose these little pieces in here, and everything's good. And you can have all these, you want your vanes all going the same direction. Okay, and you want to use some kind of light lubricant. Right now I'm using WD-40. It's probably not the best stuff, but this is just assembly. And then when we put it on our bench, we'll run this thing. Now the cam, you know, you look in there, the cam is clean, no chatters. I'm going to set this down. It has to go a certain way. For right hand rotation. And most of the time they are right hand rotation, but okay, so it goes like that. We're going to put the other valve plate on here. Okay, that just goes like that. I've already lapped this out. Then you're going to have your cap with your pressure packs in here. The way these work is that when you start, the more pressure you have, these pressure packs, it'll get in there and these packs will push the plate down. The higher the pressure it gets in, then it puts pressure against this valve plate to keep it tight. But this is just a refurbish, you know. I don't really recommend. In this case, I know because I've done the other one, saved them a bunch of $6,000 just to go through it. And you put a new bearing. I've already done, this is the other cartridge. I've already taken this one apart and set it. This is the back pump. It's a left hand because it goes opposite. This is the right hand because they go like this. So you got to understand that, the way they're putting the thing. But what we're going to do here is we're going to set this up. Now I use this compression string. This is to show you. This is a refurbished job. But I feel real good about this one because I did the other one the same way. I was trying to show you that. So use a spring compressor for pistons. And we're going to, before I tighten this down, we're going to get this square. You do this because you need to, this needs to go into the case, and you know, this is just, they just sit in there. Okay, and this holds it together. I'm going to set it down to keep it all square. Then I'll wash this out again real good and put some light oil before I assemble it. Just wanted to show you that. Sometimes, you know, like I said, if I go buy this, it's over $2 grand for the part. And then the rest of the stuff, you know, the customer's going to be in it. This way, the way I'm doing it here, probably get away with this one time. And I did have them turn the pressure down a little bit, so it seems to be working fine. 32s, they're supposed to be rated for that, but that's just too much. 3,200 PSI, it puts a lot of load on them, especially when they're running that hard all day long. So there you go, that's that. Stand by.